My name is Dewayne Perkins. I am a poor gay black man. Technically, if I were to prioritize it, it would be black first because that's what you see when you see me. And then I would put poor before gay simply because I would pretend to be straight for money. Um, Love dick, but love financial stability more. You know how some straight men are gay for pay? I am straight for the right rate. The thing is, I think that homophobes have been doing it wrong the whole time. They should have been offering money instead of things like conversion therapy. Quick sidebar about conversion therapy. Does anybody remember the show and program Scared Straight? Yeah, dope. So it was like a little program that you send little urban kids to visit jail so that they can see the life they don't want to have. My mother sent me to that when I was very young because she thought it was a place that did conversion therapy. But it backfired pretty hard because it was just a bunch of thugs yelling at me and me realizing that that's what I was into sexually. They were like, hey, do you want to be up in here with us? And I was like, maybe. I don't know. Don't tease me. I am young and impressionable. Oh my God, yes. Oh, wow, I love that you guys are like, oh, he's gay. He's a safe one. But yes, homophobes have been doing it wrong. They've been using conversion therapy, and that does not work. You know what would work? If a homophobe were to come to me and be like, hey, Dewayne, if you stop doing gay shit, I would pay your student loans. I'd be like, absolutely, pass me that plate of vagina. Nom, 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 nom. I know what you're thinking, and yes, I have eaten it before. And yes, the texture is unsettling. That's like a very soft mango that's been through a lot. I've become religious recently because I realized that homosexuals are the chosen people of Christ and heterosexuality is a curse. Why do you think gay men are so cute and fun and straight men are always killing people? Sidebar, speaking of straight men killing people, there's been a lot of mass shootings recently, and we are living in a very scary time. And the thing that I hate most about mass shootings is that I think it takes away your right to choose where you want to die. I was shopping the other day, and I just kept having this anxious feeling that I was like, what if somebody comes in here and starts shooting? I just kept thinking like how mad I would be to die in a fucking Marshall's. Because I knew that when I went to heaven, all the gays that were shot at Nordstrom would drag me. Oh, boy. Next month will make my 1 year of living in Los Angeles. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It has been just okay, but ups and downs is how the world go around. But I lived in New York City before I lived here, which is a bad place full of bad people. But I do have great memories there. I had my first writing job there. I was writing on this show. It was a late night show. The host was a white woman. It was a really great show. I loved it. But when I first started working there, I kept getting notes from the producers that I had to write more in her voice because if she said the things that I wrote, she sounded like a bigot. And I was like, what? Are you saying she can't say that Trump's a punk-ass, bitch-ass nigga? And I was like, oh my God, I heard it. Oh, shit. Nah, she shouldn't say that. So I will take your note. So I took the note and I really started to practice and perfect my white woman voice, my white woman perspective, my white woman point of view. So much so that it started to seep into my everyday life and I found myself transforming into a white woman. For example, this morning I was sitting at a Sweet Green looking at crystals on Etsy and the worker asked me what kind of dressing I wanted on my salad and I was like, Chardonnay, 'cause I'm quirky. Then I went to go sit down. They brought me my salad that I ordered with croutons. There were no croutons. So I was like, excuse me, can I speak to your manager? And when they told me the manager wasn't there, I blacked out in anger. And then I woke up at a TJ Maxx. I was like, whoa, these prices are so affordable. And then one of the workers ran up to me and she was like, what are you doing? The cops are on their way. And I was like, who the fuck called the cops? And she was like, you did. And I was like, transformation complete. And then for good measures, I fucked a black man. My parents were also disappointed. But I don't want y'all to think that I don't like white people, because I do. I have a white friend. And the other day they told me that Harrison Ford and Richard Gere are different white men. What? Who would have known? Who would have known? Okay, I'm going to leave you with something personal because I really want you to know who I am. This is my coming out story. It's very personal, so basically you're welcome. So I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I came out when I was 17. But I knew that coming out risked losing people that were close to me. But at that time in my life, I was like, you know what? So be it. I have 4 sisters and my parents. That's who I wanted to come out to. I was too afraid to tell my sisters in person, so I just sent them a group text. And all it said was, hey guys, I'm gay. Then one of them wrote back, yeah, that makes sense. Then I wrote back, what is that supposed to mean? Then she wrote, you wear a lot of cowboy boots in the summer. And I replied, I just like the sound of clacking. Then I wrote, oh, there it is. I see what you mean. Okay. But I was so mad because I was expecting them to abandon me. I was going to use that trauma to create art in the future. They deprived me of that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to come out to my mother because she's crazy Christian. I was, again, too afraid to tell her in person. I wrote her a letter, and I went to school. I'm sitting in class, and I get a text message from her. And all it says is, I wouldn't care if you were a green alien. I will love you no matter what. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I was going to use whatever fucked up thing she said as the prologue to my memoir. So I go home, because I know she has something else to say. She's a sneaky bitch. She calls me into the bathroom. She's sitting on the toilet. We have a close relationship. I sit on the edge of the tub. She looks me in the eyes, and she says, I love you, but you know you're going to hell, right? And I replied, you're divorced, so are you? And we looked at each other for a very long time. And she took a deep breath, and she said, you got me there. And I was like, yes, I did. The gay comes quick. I'm sassy. And then I was like, dope. I'm an out homosexual man. Got my first boyfriend that summer. My nephew had a birthday party. Brought him to the party. Normalized it all. It was great. Then on my way home, I got a text message from my father. And he was like, who was that guy? And I wrote back, that was my boyfriend. And he wrote, you're gay, ? And I wrote, oh my God, I forgot to tell you. And then he wrote, no joke, this is exactly what he wrote. It's okay, just don't get AIDS. And I replied, yeah, you neither. And then he wrote, you got me there. And I was like, yes, I did.